What is going on, everybody, and welcome on into episode 286 of the Garage Beers podcast, brought to you proudly here on the OBR streaming network. Again, remember, if you're a Cleveland Browns fan, the OBR is the biggest and oldest and largest independent Browns coverage site in all of Cleveland. Plus, Wednesday nights, you get to hang out with us on Garage Beers and do what we're going to do best, which is talk about all of our favorite sports. We have got a great show planned for you tonight. A little bit later in the show, we're going to get to, guys, we're going to get to a Browns win.
What?
Right? It happened. No, It happened. It's a thing that happened, and we're gonna say words about it.
Are you serious, bro? You serious?
Chad's in the
rain. Shower on over there?
Yeah. Basically, it's an ASMR thing. It's an ASMR thing. Joey's gonna fall asleep.
Coming to you live from the shower. It's Chad.
Yeah.
Makes all the women in Cleveland puke.
Hartman doing his little shimmy.
Yeah, right. Thank you for getting that reference. So we'll talk about that. The Cleveland Cavaliers season has begun. The Cavs are playing tonight. They were down by as many as 17. They have just tied it at the end of the third quarter, so a big fourth quarter coming at Madison Square Garden. We'll talk about that. We'll probably get into some college football if we have time. And the World Series is set. So we got a lot of stuff that we want to get to as we get through this show, and that'll all happen later. But we're going to start with our incredible special guest when we get into the meat and potatoes of the show as we talk about the start of the Columbus Blue Jackets season. And we'll get to that in just a minute. But boys, since last week, how's everybody doing? Chad, it's good to have you back.
Yeah, thanks, man. That was a little crazy. You know, mom took a spill because she thought she had to. She thought she was still able to lift her leg up to shave her legs, and she ended up breaking a couple ribs and so forth. And but she's okay now.
But
she's
the leg
good,
clean shaven, perfect.
Yeah. Very few razor cuts. Guys, boys, I just learned something new today. And like Joey, I'm sure you've heard of this, but I just learned about the anechoic chamber today.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit.
Love an anechoic chamber.
Mike,
What are you talking about?
So this place there's one in Minnesota. It's Microsoft offices. It's known as by Guinness as the world's quietest room.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. So like
blood flow. It's
yes, crazy. Like that's crazy to me. Like the sensory deprivation, like the longest anybody has stayed in this place is 45 minutes because you can literally hear, like they say you can feel your eyelids touching, like flapping. Like that's how like deprived you are in this place. Like, you guys think you'd be able to last in this?
Nope.
No,
not at all.
We had one in college, and I used to think in one of our studios, I I could do like a class in there, but like we like took a class like 10 minutes. I think we stayed in there, and like even that was just like losing our minds towards the end of it.
I don't think I've ever been officially in like one of the chambers themselves, but I've been in like full on soundproof rooms, and like after about 5 minutes, I can feel my chest compressing.
Get me out of here.
I gotta get out of here. No, thank you for that.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, well, boys, let's not make the people wait because we know what they're here for, and he's waiting in the background because
it is.
He's a face Jackets fan. Only Jackets fans can love. No, just kidding. We are very happy to be joined by our friend tonight for like the 170th time, which we love, coming on to talk about the Columbus Blue Jackets. Actually, the last time we saw him, I think it was the last time we saw him, he gave us one of the best spots we've ever had on this show when the Blue Jackets were in the middle of their awesome run to end last year where they just needed one more Canadiens loss and they couldn't get it. But if you'll remember, where was it? Philly? Was he in Philly? When Dave came to us from the rink after the Jackets had just won a huge game in Philly and just gave us the best spot ever. Now we've got him on to talk about the beginning of the Columbus Blue Jackets season. Let's not waste any more time. He's the ringside reporter and kind of now Mr. Do Everything for the Columbus Blue Jackets. It's Dave Maetzold. Mets, welcome back into the garage.
Thanks, guys. I'm in my quiet room, so if you could just kind of lower your voices, really appreciate it.
Do you feel your blood pumping out of your heart?
That is the craziest thing I've ever. I mean, it sounds funny to say craziest thing you've ever heard, but man, I don't want any part of that.
I don't think I can do it. What's the benefit of it?
Science.
Yeah, science.
Well,
yeah, they say they sometimes they'll send astronauts there to like simulate the quiet of space.
ooh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, I'm good with noise. That's why I like to hang out with you guys.
Metz,
why I like to hang out with you guys.
what event were you working before this? Where were you at?
So there's an old club here in Columbus called the Aganis Club. It's been around for 102 years, and I mean, like all these philanthropy clubs, right? Philanthropic clubs. They used to be so much bigger, and now it's a little bit smaller club. But every year they honor a Columbus or a Central Ohio athlete. In this case, they were honoring the Sullinger family. The J.J. Sullinger, Jared Sullinger, you know them very well from their basketball exploits, but their dad, Satch Sullinger, is famous statewide for his coaching. Coached Northland High School to a state championship several years ago. So they honored the Sullinger family tonight in Columbus, and it was cool. It's a great basketball family, and they deserve to be recognized for everything they've done.
I always thought it was cool when Jared was playing at Ohio State, and it was near or around the time that Ted Ginn was playing for the football team, and they would always talk about Satch being the kind of the well-renowned basketball coach around the state, and obviously Ted Ginn Sr. up here in Cleveland at Glenville High School being the same thing, and then those two kids both made their way to Ohio State. Those were always two kind of very cool coinciding stories. I remember they would always show Satch in the stands at Buckeyes games. So that's a cool event. That was a cool. Were you emceeing it?
Nope, I was just there to support the family and support the Aganis Club because again, the Sullingers here are basketball royalty. So
right,
it's really cool to be a part of it.
Love that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, boys, we're gonna get into some Jackets talk. You had a hell of a game you got to talk about last night in Dallas. We'll get into that, and we'll get into just our early impressions of the way this season has started for the Blue Jackets. But we can't do it if we're not doing it over a nice cold beer. So that's the point of Garage Beers. Dave, did you grab a beer for the show tonight?
Did I grab a beer? So the first road trip of the season took us to Nashville first and then to my home state of Minnesota. So
yes,
in Minnesota, you got to go Greenbelt Premium, baby.
Yes.
Yeah.
Greenbelt Premium. And because it is the 25th anniversary, I got my 25th anniversary mug.
Let's go.
We're just going to go just like this.
Okay.
Right here. There you go. I mean, is there – oh, that's maybe a little too much head on that beer, but that's all right.
Nah.
It's the mug that matters.
It'll settle.
Yeah. Thanks to the Blue Jackets for the mug, by the way.
Oh, I think we're going to have to – I think the Garage Beers boys are going to have to make our way to a Jackets game and get ourselves some 25th anniversary mugs this year.
Yeah. Eventually. Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. That's a good one. I think you've actually had that one on with us before.
I'm pretty sure I've had because I'm super partial. When I go home, I get two things. I get Greenbelt Premium and I get a big bag of Old Dutch potato chips. And, that makes me feel like I'm at home.
Yeah.
There you go. Oh,
Greenbelt's your go-to. Yeah. Greenbelt. I remember you saying that. Greenbelt's your go-to.
Yeah.
Awesome. Joe, what are you drinking?
I got a pop top. This is Freem again, but it's a Belgian style Christmas ale.
Whoa.
So we're just gonna
It's that time of the year.
out.
It's that time of the year. It's Christmas ale time
Any
of the year. Oh.
Opa. I want to do a little pour just so I can get this tasted quickly, but she looks good.
Yeah.
Looks like
Oh,
Christmas
check
ale.
that out.
Is that a good batch, Joe? Is it a good batch?
That works. It's a great batch.
That works.
It's a great batch. That'll do, boys.
All right.
Yeah, Nashville's beer scene is something to be desired. So I was really hopeful being in Seattle now that there'd be some type of Christmas sale. And that'll do. I feel like the cork might be a little unnecessary, but we'll take it.
It felt fancy. It felt fancy.
Felt
and that's
fancy.
what we were looking for. That's what we were looking for. Chad, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I haven't had a chance to go to the store yet, boys. So I'm drinking my last worldwide stout from Dogfish Head.
Holy hell.
Yep. It's happening. Yeah, it's happening. So, Dave, these land anywhere between 18 and 25% ABV. Yeah, we're off to the races here. I mean, I'm not going to try not to drink it too fast, but yeah, that's what I'm drinking tonight.
Let's go. I can't wait till we get way into the Blue Jackets hockey, like in half an hour from now. It's going to be great.
Brown's not going to be spicy tonight.
So when Boone played for the Chill, how did that work?
Dave, why isn't Rick Nash scoring any goals? Why isn't he scoring?
It's a really good question.
He's up there in the box in a suit. He just needs to go play.
Oh, I love it. We have got some good stuff going on in the comments. Ty Sox is having a Terrapin Sunray wheat. Shout out for that one. How about Joe Mannix going to my favorite brewery on the planet? I'm going to guess you're in Massachusetts, Joe. Treehouse for Sunday's game, the Browns game. Go to Treehouse. Have a lot of beers for me. Gregory is in his quiet room having some Keystones tonight. So shout out for the Keystones. And yeah, keep putting yours in the comments. We'll keep flashing them up there. Joe, I'm going to match your energy, brother. The Christmas ales have hit the shelves.
Yes.
You only get so much time. Everybody that's like, it's too early. You only get so much time to enjoy the Christmas ales, and then they're gone. So shut up and leave me alone. I went out and grabbed the Masthead Robot Santa's Christmas Ale because I love Masthead here in Cleveland. They make great beers. And so I threw it in the old Garage Beers mug here, and it looks a lot like yours without an unnecessary cork, Joe.
Yeah, I'm going to respect Dave's time here, and I'll pick that bone with you later, Mike.
I love it.
Oh, you can get you there once their Christmas is gone, they're gone. You yelled at me 2 years ago about this on the podcast.
You've been hanging on
because I was like, you got to get the Christmas sales before New Year's Eve because they're going to be gone. And you're like, well, you can get them in March if you wanted to. Now look at you. I mean, it's
all right. Leave me alone. I'm just trying to be positive about Christmas sales. All right. Those are our Garage Beers of the week. Keep putting yours in the comments. We'll flash them up. But now it's time to get into episode 286 with our buddy Dave Maetzold. Is the title still officially Rinkside Reporter, or has the title expanded, Dave?
It depends if we're home or away. Like at home, it's Rinkside Reporter. Away, it's host and Rinkside Reporter. So, yeah.
So when the Jackets were wondering, like, how can we mix things up this year? Like, what can we do to improve? They just said more Mets. They said more Mets. Huh?
I don't know if they said that or not. The fact of the matter is, FanDuel Sports Network at this moment doesn't have a studio anywhere in the state of Ohio.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the Guardians would go from the stadium. The Reds would go from the stadium. I'm assuming the Cavs are doing the same thing that we're doing. So because there's no studio for Brian Giesenslaw to be in during road games, John Luke and I need to go on the road so we can host the pre and post game show from the road. That's the simple truth of it. It has nothing to do with wanting to see more of me. Probably more people don't want to see that. Actually,
come on.
How is it, Dave? How is it having John Luke on the road? And obviously, you guys worked together for so long.
Yeah,
and obviously, knowing John Luke back to his playing days, obviously, it's got to be fun having him on the road. And is he having a good time on the road with you guys?
We're easing our way into it because all of this is new for us. So we don't want to get too overboard, on the social side of things. And then all of a sudden the show goes to hell the next day. And what happened, boys? Well, I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
Yeah. But the short answer to that question is yes. Lukey is great to work with. Obviously knows his hockey, and he's becoming just a fantastic broadcaster in that he doesn't mind espousing his opinion, even if it's not totally 100% positive. He'll tell it like he sees it, right? Like if he sees a bad play or if he sees a bad penalty kill or whatever, he has no problem mentioning that. And that's what makes a good analyst is when you can be honest and people know you're honest. You're not just a shill for the team. And he's done a very good job of that. And so it's been fun. And we've only done, 3 games on the road together so far. But even after last night, we're like, okay, that was better than it was in Nashville and Minnesota. And hopefully by the time we get to Pittsburgh at the end of the week, it'll be better than it was last night in Dallas. So, yeah, we're learning.
I love it. Well, let's talk about this hockey team that you talk about. The Columbus Blue Jackets, 3-3 on the season, have looked really good over the last couple of games.
Yeah.
After getting shelled by the Colorado Avalanche, which there's going to be a bunch of teams that get shelled by the Colorado Avalanche over the course of a season. But it feels, Dave, like kind of early impressions as we get into this Columbus Blue Jackets talk, feels a little bit like so far to this point of the season, the tale of two teams. It feels like the 5-on-5 full-strength Columbus Blue Jackets could play with anybody in the NHL and beat anybody in the NHL, and they have been spectacular when it's been 5-on-5 full go Blue Jackets versus the other team hockey. They've been so good. And they've controlled the puck, and they've possessed the puck a ton, and they've really gotten into their stuff on the offensive side, and they've scored a bunch of goals, and it's looked great. And then there's been the Blue Jackets team with a guy in the box, and it's been much more of a struggle. Although last night was much better, but it's been much more of a struggle. We got to a point where pretty much every goal except for one, well, maybe two, there was an empty netter, and there was every goal except for one that they'd given up on the season had been with a guy in the box. And they'd really kind of struggled on that side. So just talk about your early impressions and what we're seeing out of this team.
Well, that obviously is a big one that hopefully we saw the beginnings of both of the penalty kill and the power play have both been bad. I mean, going into that game last night in Dallas, they were both ranked dead last in the league. So obviously there needs to be improvement there. And again, hopefully last night was the first step. But I'm going to go to the goal because all summer long, people would say, what do you think of the Jackets? What are they going to do? Are they going to be better? Are they going to make the playoffs? What are they going to do? And my answer was always, let's see what happens between the pipes, right? Because Elvis and Jet are clearly going to be sharing the net this year. And it's going to be a matter of how that plays with both of them. Like Elvis early in camp, he goes, well, I don't know. Jet's never played 60 games. I don't know if he can handle a 60-game schedule. Whoa, man, Elvis, you might want to back off a little bit on that thought because they're going to have to share the net. That's the plan going in. Dean Evison has said since the beginning of camp, it's not a problem for me because they're both good. That's the right thing to say. And so far, I think you could argue, even in that Colorado game, Elvis was good in the Colorado game. Colorado was just really on fire that night. So the goaltending, to me, through 6 games, has exceeded expectations, and that's a good thing because they'll get the other problems figured out. They'll get the power play figured out. We saw it last night with 2 goals. They'll get the penalty kill figured out. And when they do, man, they could be off and running as long as these 2 goaltenders continue to play at the level that they're at right now.
I know we're only 6 games into the season, but like as camp progressed, Dave, like Elvis is, Jet, you really can't say a bad thing about Jet. He's just he's a cool customer, right? He's as cool as the other side of the pillow, as Stuart Scott used to say, right?
Yep.
But Elvis, whenever you saw you brought up his play in net or whether he should be in net, he's always kind of gotten defensive about it, and rightfully so. I mean, that's you want your guy to be that way, to have confidence in his ability, but he has always kind of gotten defensive whenever anything's been questioned about him. Have you seen anything like has his attitude kind of turned as far as sharing the net this year, or how has that played out so far?
I think the seeds for that were planted by Dean Evison last year. Like he told us, he wasn't shy about saying, look, he needs to be a better teammate. And I think he's worked with him. Dean has worked with Elvis on that. You got to be a better teammate. And you got to be more supportive of your defenseman in front of you, more supportive of your team in general. And I think Elvis has really worked hard to say that, to do that by saying the right things. He's saying the right things in postgame. And sometimes when Elvis speaks, you're always like, are you just saying that to say it? Or is that truly how you feel? And I think he's becoming more genuine with his thoughts in that area now. That's point number 1, because the difference between these 2 guys is Elvis wears his heart on his sleeve, right? You always know how Elvis is feeling. You know if he's mad, you know if he's happy. You can see it in his face. You can see it in his body language. And Jet, you can't tell. Like he's, as you guys mentioned, he's calm, he's cool. You can't really tell if he's high or low, right? So I think that Elvis needs to be a little bit more like that. Don't show us quite so much of your emotions and try to remain a little more even keel. And I think he is getting better at that. When he made the comment that I just mentioned early in the season, people were like, oh man, there goes Elvis again. He can't control himself. But since that time, he really has controlled himself. And most importantly, he's played very well. I mean, he faced 52 shots in Minnesota and 35 against Colorado. And then last night against a really powerful Dallas team, didn't see that many shots, but everything that he did see, he stopped with the exception of one deflection. So I think he's played really well, and his words are backing up his actions and vice versa.
Yeah, it was kind of apparent from the jump that, and I found it interesting that they went with Jet to open the season.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there wasn't a little bit to that as far as, again, I think they're maybe hoping that the competition brings out a little bit more in Elvis this time around. I know they've done it kind of in the past, but they went with Jet to open the season, and I know they took the loss down there in Nashville, but I think Jet had some incredible play in that game against Nashville, and it really felt like it kind of set the tone, and it feels like both guys have kind of taken it from there and run with it all throughout the start of the season, and that only bodes well for them through an 82 game season. If you got two guys that can share the load, but they're also kind of competitive and they want to be the guy, and they're going to go out there and try to one up each other every night. That's a solid recipe.
It's a really solid recipe, and as long as the actions continue to back up the words. The words are, no, we get along great together. We're fine. We're always encouraging each other. And then they've got to back that up with the way they play and the way they respond on nights when they're not playing. I will give you an example from last night. I mentioned it on the telecast. The Jackets were killing a penalty, and I was down in the tunnel where Jet had to sit because there wasn't enough room for him on the bench. And with every save that Elvis made, Jet was like, yeah, great save. I mean, he was applauding like a fan with his blocker and his catching glove on. He's like, yeah, great save, great save. I have sat in that same spot for years in Dallas with the Blue Jackets backup goaltender. I've never seen that. It doesn't matter who it is. I've never seen the backup goaltender root on the guy who's actually out there playing the way Jet was doing it last night. That's about as sincere as it gets, right? It seemed authentic. It seemed genuine. He wasn't doing it because I was there, because there was a camera around. That's the way he was honestly reacting to watching Elvis play. If that continues all season long, where they can support each other like that, it's a really good thing for the team.
Now, I mean, I guess my last thing on the goaltending, Dave, is, I asked Dean over the summer, and I asked Mearsy last week, too.
Oh, you had Mearsy on last week? Oh.
We did.
Number one choice for that week, for sure, 100%.
I asked him all the, both of them the same thing. I said, obviously last year, nobody really expected that type of season coming out of you, but this year you're not going to surprise anybody. Right. So I was curious where this team needed to elevate their play, going into this season. How do they take that next level? Would you say goaltending is the number one thing, or would you have any other opinions as to where this team needs to elevate their play?
Yeah, it's not just on the goalies; it's on the defensemen too. They need to keep the puck out of the net. I mean, they were scoring last year at an unbelievable clip. How many times did they have 6 or more goals, 7 or more goals? It was incredible, and I think we all expect that to, if not increase, certainly stay at about that level with the guys up front like Marchenko, Fantilli, Kent Johnson, Sean Monahan, who only has 1 point and no goals so far. I mean, there's certainly a lot of talent up front, but it's the attention to detail on the back end from the blue liners and from the goaltenders that really needs to be the point of emphasis for where they need to improve. They all know that. And I think, again, early results are, that's going to be a better result this year, or a better area this year than it was last year. So that's no secret. The goaltenders needed to be better and the defensemen needed to be better. Early returns are good.
So, Dave, let's go back to kind of what we were talking about to start, which is the success that this team is finding when they're at full strength and when the other team's at full strength.
Yeah.
The 5-on-5 success out there with the skaters and kind of dominating the puck. It feels like there's so much when it's 5-on-5. It feels like the Blue Jackets are able to it feels like they're fast. It feels like they're flying to the puck. It feels like they're making life miserable for their opponents, especially through center ice. They're really just trying to get the puck into their own offensive zones. I think the Blue Jackets have been much better at that this year. But what are you watching out there that's making them look as good as they look? Like what's a difference in how they look in 5-on-5 hockey this year?
Well, I'll use the example where they didn't look that great, and that was that Colorado game. And the reason they didn't look that great is because they weren't first to the puck. They weren't winning the battles. They weren't going into the corners and trying to win the battles. 5-on-5, they have to do that. And that helps the breakouts when they're getting the puck in their own zone, helps them break out of their own zone. They've got 5 guys to work with to get it up the ice. And it works in the other end too when, they dump the puck into the corner and somebody's got to go get it. Marchenko was really good on that in Nashville. You saw it. He was so noticeable. And really his play on the forecheck led to that first goal in Nashville from Voronkov. Yes. But Voronkov's got that ability. Boone Jenner's got that ability. Charlie Coyle new to the team this year. Big body, can go down and retrieve the puck on the forecheck, and that's what's going to make this team good 5-on-5 and on the power play, right? They've got to win those battles, and they just weren't doing it in Colorado. If you were to put the tape together, the tape side by side of the Colorado game and the Tampa game that would follow, it was like night and day. They saw it, they knew what they had to do and weren't doing it, and then in Tampa they corrected it, and they did it again last night. So that's the biggest difference is compete level, really. Dean put it on the whiteboard before the Tampa game. Compete. Like, that's going to be the difference maker for this team, and it is when they're doing it. You can notice it not just 5-on-5, but also when they're on the power play.
Mets, there's been a lot of coaching carousel issues over the last couple of years. You obviously went. The Blue Jackets went with the 2 first-time head coaches. That didn't work out. You had the Mike Babcock issue in between there. That was very fun for all of us. And now you're in year 2, and I think we saw so many positive things, and I think we saw Dean Evason really be able to kind of put his personality stamp pretty immediately on the Columbus Blue Jackets last year, and I think you can see it by the way they finished and the way they never really gave up on the season, even though there were times where it felt like they could. Going into year 2, now another like a full off season, Dean Evason, year 2, this is like officially his program, his organization, his hockey team. Now, what are the things you're seeing of just kind of the continual or the continuation of that for Coach Evason and how this team's kind of taken his personality on and maybe any differences you're seeing going into year 2 after as opposed to year 1?
It sounds cliche, but I'm telling you, this guy lives by the mantra team first, team all the time. Sometimes to the point of frustration when we're trying to ask him a question about a particular player who's had a good night, whether it's Zach Werenski, Kirill Marchenko, Elvis Merzlikins. Oh, Z really looked good tonight, or Marchie had a hat trick tonight. He really looked good. Well, yes, he did, but the team looked good. He will always defer from whatever question we're asking him about an individual onto the team. And that's got to be the message that he's carrying into the dressing room as well. You know what, Marchie? I don't care you had 5 goals in 5 games. How is the team doing? Elvis, yeah, your save percentage is up over 900. That's good. That's a great start. But how's the team doing? Is the team getting the 2 points? And I think that's a point that when he first started talking about it, it sounded like, we've heard all coaches say that. But I think he really lives it. And he really tries to make these guys act as a 23-man unit, one unit, rather than 23 individuals. And I think that's what sets him apart. He's also got this expectation level where if you're not going to play hard, if you're not going to go out there and compete the way, again, they had to do it against Tampa and didn't do it against Colorado, you're not going to play. You're not going to get the ice time. So I think that's what he is bringing and really underscoring this year. He did it last year, of course, but he's doing it more this year, and I think people understand that that's the way it's going to be. One other thing on that topic, he has said that if a situation arises in a game, and I've got to think of where it happened. It happened in Nashville, where he needed Damon Severson to move up and play on the top pair with Zach Werenski because he would bring more offense and he would create more opportunities. If situations like that arise, he will adjust his lines accordingly to put whatever talent what is needed in whatever particular situation. He'll put that talent together during the game. He'll make those changes during the game to try to win the game, which is, again, a great strategy and one that I think we're going to look for all season long in terms of I'm not just going to stick with these pairs or these lines because that's the way I started the game. I'm going to put the personnel on the ice that I need at the time to get the result they're looking for, if you guys follow that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's throw it over to Chad Meyer in the Amazon rainforest. Chad.
Hey guys, I'm out here. I just killed a python in the back there. I don't know if you saw it. But Dave, is that now? I understand the method of that, like the adjustments that you need to make, right? But does that do anything? I mean, these guys have probably all played together at some point, right? Because I'm curious if that does anything as far as chemistry goes, about guys knowing where they are on the ice, everything like that.
I think what it does is it tells whatever the individuals are. For example, he put Boone Jenner and Charlie Coyle and Matthew Olivier together. Those guys each know what they do. They're each big bodies. They're each heavy. They know what they have to do, right? So he puts those guys together, and they all know their style of play. Okay, we understand we either need to shut down the line that we're skating against on our shift, or we need to go get pucks out of the corners or whatever the case may be. They know what they're doing. If he puts Kirill Marchenko with KJ and Adam Fantilli, go score a goal, boys. We know you have that kind of a creative ability to find one another on the ice and score goals, create opportunities, create good scoring chances. So I think that's what he's looking for. Again, I'll go back to that example of putting Damon Severson up with Zach Werenski. At first blush, you're like, well, you know, Damon Severson is pretty much a stay-at-home guy. No, he's also got a pretty good shot, and he has the ability to move the puck up the ice as needed to create opportunities. So I think that they all know each other well enough. Even the new guys, Miles Wood and Charlie Coyle and Lundestrom as well. They know each other well enough so they know what their roles are and they know what their strengths are in any given shift.
And then you spoke, obviously you spoke with, about Dean and living the team life. How much fun, speaking of this team, how much fun is this team when this offense is going? I mean, in their 3 wins so far, no less than 9 guys have gotten on the score sheet.
It's incredible. And you see things like when Marchenko and Voronkov hook up, you see the chemistry between those two guys. When you see, just pay close attention to what Kent Johnson is able to do with the puck. And as he gets stronger and bigger and more confident each year, some of the moves that he makes to get into the zone or to get by 2 guys and create opportunities. Last night, he started the play that ultimately led to Fantilli's goal, just with his creativity and his ability to kind of protect the puck and make something happen. Those kind of guys are really fun to watch, to be honest with you. And so when you see them play together and when you see that creativity team up, it's really fun to watch. And I think that's why this team could be, it's hard to say they're going to be on the same pace that they were last year in terms of scoring goals, but there really is no reason why they couldn't be, right? We just have to see how it all plays out.
Dave, what's the biggest reason that, we talked about improvements, we talked about goalies, but as you watch them right now, this was a team that was 1 game away from a postseason berth last year, and they went on a magical run. And man, how fun the second half of last year was. It included the outdoor game, it included that run at the end, all that. But what's the thing that you see with these guys that you go, okay, here's what makes me think they can get over the hump this year. They can make the postseason and make a little bit more noise this year. What's the biggest area of improvement outside of maybe goaltending? Because you already talked about goaltending.
Yeah, goaltending. I'm really pleasantly surprised by the way the goaltending has started the season. Beyond that, Kirill Marchenko can be a really special player. I don't know if you guys have seen them live yet this year, but Kirill is so fast and so creative. And has a competitive drive that you don't really notice until you see him in practice, how hard he works to perfect a particular shot, how much time he spends at the end of practice to perfect a particular move or a shot or whatever it may be. Kirill Marchenko is fun to watch. Kirill Marchenko on that top line with Sean Monahan and Voronkov, the potential is really there. Keep in mind, guys, Sean Monahan has yet to score. He's got 1 point. He got an assist in Dallas last night. So when he gets his game going, that top line could be really good. Kent Johnson's fun to watch, as I already mentioned. Boone Jenner, if he stays healthy, is going to be a factor in front of the net. We've already seen that. I don't know that if I was the coach of the Dallas Stars, I wouldn't have challenged that goal from Boone last night, but I don't know. And then back on the blue line, we know what Zach is, right? Zach finished second in the Norris. He's one of the best defensemen in the National Hockey League. How about Denton Matejchuk and what he's done? That goal he scored last night.
That sniper.
Unbelievable. He gets the pass from Chitikoff and just sort of says, okay, I got 2 guys in front of me, puts a little shoulder shake in, gets himself enough room and just fires it past one of the best goaltenders in the National Hockey League in Jake Ottinger. So I think Denton Matejchuk is really going to be fun to watch as well. He's moved up to the top pair. And that creates that internal competition on the blue line too. So there's a lot of reasons for optimism right now, I think.
I do want to say, I love that you threw out Kirill Marchenko. I think I texted the boys during one of the games and I was like, wait, boys, is Marchenko just trying to be the best player on the Blue Jackets this year? Like, because that is how he's playing to start the year. And it's not just his ability to put the puck in the net, which, we saw the hat trick and, we've seen him make some really nice plays with the puck, but it's the hustle. He always feels like when he's out there, he feels like the first guy to the puck. He's making plays. He's playing smart. Like, I don't know. I sent them the text. I was like, is this guy trying to be the best player on the Blue Jackets?
He's becoming a 200-foot player before our very eyes, guys.
Right, and that's why I hope you guys come down to see a game soon, because you got to see him live. I think he's faster, maybe because he's more confident, maybe because he knows where he's going and he's familiar with his line mates, but he's faster. He's getting to the open ice, I think, quicker than he was last year. And I mean, 31 goals last year. What's the limit for him this year? Who knows? Yeah. But he's really a fun, dynamic player to watch. I asked him about his goal against Tampa. He scored the game-winning goal against Tampa. And in his post-game press conference, he said, "I just close my eyes and shoot." And we all kind of laughed. And then we got done with the press conference. And I saw him out in the hallway, and I'm like, "Kirill, do you really close your eyes and shoot? I mean, were you joking with us, or are you serious?" He goes, "No." I said, because it looked to me like you were picking a spot, like you were picking the upper right-hand corner. And he goes, "No, I wasn't doing that either." And I'm like, "Well, explain it to me." And he said, "It's muscle memory. It's muscle memory. I had two guys on me. I knew that if I just shoot, I know where the puck's going to go because I've shot that same shot thousands of times in practice. I know where it's going to go." And I'm like, damn, muscle memory.
Okay. Look at that.
That makes sense to me.
One guy that I forgot to mention is Igor Chinnikov. I mean, I know there was a lot of to do about him over the summer. I mean, is that situation all past and we're all good with everything now?
No, because right now he's playing on the fourth line while Miles Wood is injured, and he's not a fourth line player. He did have two really nice opportunities that he created for himself last night, and he did have the assist on the Matejchuk goal. But I think somehow he's got to get his game to the point where he can compete for a spot in the top six, because that's the type of forward he is. He's not a checking line grinder kind of guy. He's just not. He's got a wicked shot. He's got tremendous ability with his hands to create opportunities for himself. But he's just, I don't know, he's just not that complete player that Dean Evison wants him to be, to the point where he can earn those top 6 minutes yet. And a lot of us, you see it periodically. You saw it last night. It's just got to be a consistent effort from him. But I don't think he's quite there yet. Part of it is because of where he's playing right now. But part of it, too, I think, is he's got another level he can go with his game.
Have you gone and seen any musicals with Dean yet? Or
Oh, man.
No, but I would. I mean,
yeah,
he's unabashed for that stuff, man. He loves his Broadway shows and whatnot. I'm sure when we get out east, he's gonna head down to Broadway again. He loves it, and
That's
loves
awesome.
talking about it. Aaron Portzline likes to get him going on, whatever musical he's seeing or what he's gonna go see or whatever. And he loves it. That's
awesome.
genuine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Will, we love it too. And Mets, we love having you on, man. Talking Jackets. We're only 6 games into an 82-game season. Jackets 3 wins, 3 losses, no other points, no overtime losses. But it just feels like they are on the verge of finding something really good. It does. It feels like that. And it, you know what? The other part of it that feels that way, Dave, and the other reason it feels that way is the bounce back from the Avalanche game. Like a 100%. Very convincing. It was like, hey, we got thrashed by Colorado, but let's just come out and beat Tampa and Dallas. And we won't make a big deal out of getting thrashed. We won't hang our heads about it. We'll just come out and win the next couple games against, Tampa's off to a terrible start, but very quality opponent in the Dallas Stars. And that, I think that mentality of like, hey, we're going to lose some games. It's 82-game season. It doesn't matter whether we lose 8-0 or 2-1. We're going to lose some games throughout the course of the season, but it's how we respond. And so far, that has been an A+, a grade for this Blue Jackets team as well.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And I wonder, as we move forward now, we've got Washington on Friday, Pittsburgh on Saturday. If they win those 2 games, I wonder if we won't be, for a long time looking back at that Colorado game and saying, okay, they learned a lesson there because they got their shit handed to them and they turned it around and figured out we can't play like that and win. So, we might be, we might just remember that one. Yeah. Let's put it that way. We might just remember that game and say, okay, sounds silly. That was whatever it was, game 4.
Right.
But that might have been where they turned it around and said, okay, we can't play that poorly and expect to win.
Yeah. Some nights you're just not going to have it, right? Like a starting pitcher. Some nights you're just not going to have it.
Right.
It just can't become a pattern.
Right. Yeah. So overall, total body of work. I mean, they could have won in Nashville. Certainly, they could have beat New Jersey. Frankly, so they could be in a different spot, and they're not in a bad spot right now. They're just in a position where I think they're ready to launch. To be honest with you,
I don't know why I'm blanking on this. Was it the Nashville game? They had the 2 breakaway chances and couldn't convert either one of them. Or was that the New Jersey game?
No, it was a New Jersey game.
Right? It was the New Jersey. That still kills me a little bit. Is watching. I think Olivier had one, and maybe Voronkov had the other. Yeah. And they couldn't convert those. And it was like, oh, you're right there, boys. But you're right. Even in the losses outside of the Colorado game, in that Nashville loss, in the Jersey loss, they played well. The New Jersey game was really where the penalty killing stood out. They did not play well on the PK in that game. But again, lots of passing grades and lots of reasons for optimism.
100%
for this Blue Jackets team. And if you're going to watch him, you're going to see this guy's face all season long. Dave Maetzold.
Sorry.
No, man, we love the coverage. We love watching you out there. I love looking at my TV, and I look at my son, Patrick, who's 8, and I'm like, hey, I know that guy. I know that guy on the TV right there. I annoy my wife with it. I'm like, oh, friends. I look at the whole TV. I'm like, Friends of the Garage Beers podcast right there, the whole crew.
Look at us.
We love it. We love having you as a friend, Dave. Have fun this season. What number season is this for you now with the Jackets?
God, I don't know. A lot. I like 14, maybe 14 or 15. I don't know.
They should give you a mug that says, I don't know, 14 or 15.
I don't know, 14 or 15.
Anniversary.
6 sevens?
Oh,
no, there, come on.
Oh, my God. I can't
Too
believe
easy. It was too easy.
That was so good. Dave, have a great time calling the entire season, and we'll be watching you the whole way through, and I'm sure we'll catch up with you throughout the year as we go on. But listen, man, it's always a pleasure having you on. And as always, go Jackets.
I love being on after Steve Mears. It's fantastic.
Well, and we'll have to make sure we arrange it that way.
Yes, all year.
That's fine.
We did call Steve earlier today to ask him if you could come on, and he was cool with it. He was fine.
He was fine.
Perfect.
He was supposed to come on, but then we said, "Hey, listen, we got Mets first."
He said, "I'd like a little more distance between me and Mets, but if you gotta have him on."
Wow.
He didn't say any of that. We're making that up. Dave, it's been awesome. We'll talk to you again very soon, and keep up the good work.
Anytime, guys. You know that.
Yep. Appreciate you,
All right.
Dave.
Thanks, Dave.
Yep.
Dave Maetzold, Rinkside reporter and post-game host, Rinkside reporter for the Columbus Blue Jackets for the last 14/15/whatever years.
I don't know.
Big shout out to Dave, man. I love having him on. I love talking hockey with him, and I love watching him out there. And I think it's cool that he's getting a little new thing with our buddy Jean-Luc Rampierre doing the post games on the road too. But I 100% agree with him, guys. I think it's been a B start to the season for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I think that's good.
Yeah. Forgot to ask him, but he needs to knock on Bob Iger's door because they were only streaming the Stars broadcast on ESPN Plus yesterday. Imagine. And to listen to those assholes just bitch about the Boone Jenner goal.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Tex, what do you think about that goal that went in right there? Well, I don't know, partner. I don't think that should have been called.
I literally clicked on every other game and then it let me choose the broadcast except the Jacket Stars game, and I was like, all right. Well,
Awesome boss, 97-1 the Hog. What'd you think about that distinct kicking motion Boone Jenner did on that second goal?
I could not believe that goal stood.
No, I couldn't believe it either.
I thought it hit his skate after the kick or before the kick.
Well,
there was a kicking motion, obviously.
Yeah,
but I thought it hit the skate just before he actually kicked.
I agree with that.
I also agree with that, but I also just think it was really clear.
It was a distinct kicking motion.
Like the minute I saw the replay, I go, whoop, that's not a goal.
Nope.
And if they would have come out and said no goal, I'd have been like, okay. I would not have been upset about it in the slightest. Other than I would have been sad that they didn't have a goal. But like I would have been like, yes, I understand.
Take
this.
note because like it's really nice when calls like that go your way, and I feel
full. Wow.
And so just like,
there you go.
Yeah, that's nice. Take the win.
Yeah. Well, hey, listen. And Joe, you cut out for like a hot second there, so we didn't hear most of your point. But I think
you froze like that. You froze like this.
but I do think, hey, listen, I'm never going to apologize for calls that go our way. It is what it is. Good teams get calls that go their way.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So we'll take it.
And
we'll
plenty don't. Plenty don't.
That's right. We'll take the goal. We'll take the win. And again, Columbus now sitting 3-3 on the year. Washington, Pittsburgh coming up. So a couple big time games there. But they've been so much fun to watch. And that, again, after going through many Blue Jackets years, some that have been fun, some that have been miserable, as you build towards what they're trying to build toward, which, again, we've talked to Don Waddell about it. We've talked to Dean Evison about it. They're trying to build towards the Stanley Cup. Like, that's what the goal is. As you build towards that, it's a good foundation to have a hockey team that's just fun to watch. And right now, the Columbus Blue Jackets are a fun hockey team to watch.
Yeah.
So much fun.
So anyways, big shout out to Dave Maetzold for coming on and joining us and talking a little bit of hockey tonight. Let's get into our middle of the show segment here. And that segment is our asshole of the week, where we call somebody or something or a group of people or whatever out for just being an asshole. Just being an asshole, and they deserve to get called out. So I'll lead us off with this one, boys. My asshole of the week is fucking homeownership.
Oh,
it's such an asshole.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's such an asshole. Every time I feel like I've got one thing squared away, another damn thing happens. And homeownership is not new to me. It's not new to me, but I'm getting a little sick of it. I'm thinking I might just go rent a place again. We had siding flying off the house.
Oh.
We have a cracked window. We've got now all of a
Great
sudden
sump pump.
oh my God, our sump pump went ballistic for like a month. And now all of a sudden my wife calls me earlier today and she's like, our dryer is broken. I'm like, what the hell do you mean the dryer? Oh, the fridge went out. I forgot about the fridge. Now
Oh my
it's the
God.
dryer. Now the dryer isn't, it's not heating. There's no heat in the dryer. So it's just doing fucking nothing. And and just being a homeowner is kind of an asshole sometimes. There's so many good things about it, but there's a lot of asshole work to it. And that's my asshole of the week.
Okay.
So that's it.
All right. Nice.
Joe, what about you? What's your asshole of the week?
Boys. I love AI, but it finally pissed me off this week.
Oh,
Like,
what?
legitimately pissed me off this week. I was listening to my Discover Weekly playlist on Spotify, which suggests music based on what you're listening to. And this just incredible, like, soul rendition of Eminem's Without Me, like, came on. I was like, damn, this is like sick. I love this. And then I did some research in the artist, and it's an AI artist, but like not like an AI artist, like somebody that created it with AI and posted it to Spotify, which is just like incredibly illegal, goes against like paying creators and actually making sure like Eminem and whoever wrote that or whoever else has credits on that song is like making money off that. And like, obviously Eminem has more money than he needs, but like that kind of thing like trickles down to people that are actually like starving artists and like songwriters that are trying to make money on music. And so like that made me really mad. There's so many great things about AI, but like that like pissed me off because I loved it so much. And I was like, I can't. It's going to change a lot of things, and that's unfortunate.
All right. AI pissing Joey off with music. Okay, fair. Chad, what about you? What's your asshole of the week?
Roku. Fuck off.
Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What'd they do?
So I just signed up for my FanDuel Sports Network account, right? I just re-upped it for the year. So I could watch the Jackets, so I could watch some of the Cavs stuff, right? I did that. You know, it was $180 for the year. Fine, whatever. It is what it is.
Sure.
So I go to watch a Jackets game the other night. I have Roku's all over here, except for in our main living room. We have a Fire Stick, an Amazon Fire Stick in the main living room. I go to the Roku. I click on the FanDuel Sports Network app, and it says subscribe. I said, what?
The Roku?
I said, huh? Yeah. Apparently, there's some sort of VPN blockage or some sort of technology getting in the way of FanDuel Sports Network syncing up with Roku, and Roku is trying to make me resubscribe to FanDuel Sports Network, so I can't I can't just log into my FanDuel Sports Network on Roku. Like, I got to resubscribe if I want to watch it on a Roku. I can watch it just fine on a Fire Stick, but not Roku. Nope. You got to pay an extra $180 to watch it on Roku. Fuck off. Fuck off. Goodbye.
Yeah,
I'll just watch all the games on my phone. Whatever.
That's real stupid. Pat Shea has given us credit for all of us having inanimate assholes of the week. No living assholes of the week, just all inanimate assholes of the week. And that's true. And sometimes that's the way this has to go, Pat Shea. That's the way this has to go.
Things just piss you off.
It really is.
Sometimes things and not who, sometimes what's and not who's are assholes. And there's been plenty of who's that are assholes this week, but this dryer thing for me just happened today, and I am not over it. I'm not over it. And I can't handle it. So those are our assholes of the week. You got one? If you got an asshole, put it in the comment. Well, no, don't. Nope. If you think somebody or something has been an asshole, tell us about it in the comments. We'll put it on the screen. But all right, boys. We're gonna make these like quick hitter topics for the remainder of the show. I'm gonna start with hey, the Cavs are back. And we did our full preview with Tim Alcorn last week. If you missed it, go listen to episode 285 because Alcorn was spectacular last week. But it is official. The Cavs are 0-1 to start the season. They will go to New York tonight, and they lose to the New York Knicks 119-111. But
It's over.
They do so in a game. Right, yeah, it's over. Count them out. That's
Goodbye.
it. They do so in a game where you don't have Darius Garland, obviously. You don't have Max Strus. You don't have they don't have kind of later notice DeAndre Hunter, and he's a big part of this team. And so you're going at it with two starters down and one integral bench player down. And they made it a game for the most part. New York was up by 17 throughout various times in this game. And the Cavaliers came back and they actually took the lead. In the early fourth quarter, the Cavaliers had a lead. But ultimately, the New York Knicks go 119-111. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers for that first game. Let me see. The fourth quarter. Yeah, the Knicks outscored the Cavs 32-14 in the fourth quarter. And now I'm just cool with not watching the Knicks play basketball again for a while because I fucking hate watching them. I was watching this game a little bit. And these guys, like, I have a lot of respect for Jalen Brunson because when you're like his size and stuff, to be as good as he is, you kind of have to be a bulldog about it. But you can't defend him because the minute you touch him, it's a foul. Jalen Brunson, I think Jalen Brunson shot more free throws than the Cavaliers did. Or, God darn it, it felt close. Every time they tried to defend him, he got a whistle. He went to the free throw line. And that is just miserable. He 12 of 13 from the free throw line. And Karl Anthony Towns had 9 free throws. Or I'm sorry, he had 12. So Brunson had 13. There we go. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong stats. Brunson had 13 free throws. Karl Anthony Towns had 9. If I look at the Cavs, Mitchell and Mobley each had 5 free throws to lead the way. That fucking sucks. That blows. But that's not what wins the game. What wins the game is ultimately the Knicks made a few more plays than the Cavaliers did, and they did it down the stretch. And so the Cavs start 0-1. But some things that stand out to me, guys, like we talked about last week, Larry Nance being out there is a difference maker. Like the depth for Larry Nance. Not a good start for Lonzo Ball. He had a couple wild turnovers, and he could not shoot to save his life. I think he was 1 of 7. So an inauspicious start for Lonzo Ball. I don't know why we didn't see Thomas Bryant out there at all, especially as the New York Knicks were out rebounding us like crazy. We did not see the new addition, Thomas Bryant, at all. But I loved Evan Mobley's super aggressive 4 of 8 from 3. He took 8 3-pointers. I love seeing that. And they were mostly off the dribble. Like he was like dribbling into 3-pointers. I love that. He was aggressive. Donovan Mitchell was spectacular. He went on a run in the third quarter. That was unbelievable. And the season started. I'm not mad about a loss in Madison Square Garden, game 1 to the Knicks, because I've celebrated too many early season successes in my sports life to know that when the Cavaliers win game 6 or whatever in New York in Madison Square Garden to win the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm going to look back in game 1 and laugh and be like, you had fun that night, but we're going to the NBA Finals. That's what I think. So whatever, one loss, but I just love the Cavs season is back. Cavs season is back, and I am happy.
Yeah, you get to do your drinking a Cavaliers recap again. So you got that going for you.
I do have that going for me.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it's just 1 of 82. I mean, the Cavs dug themselves too deep of a hole tonight, and Donovan brought them back, and I mean, it was reminiscent of the playoffs, really getting down big, and then Donovan brings them back. But they just couldn't sustain it. New York just ended up going off, made too many plays tonight, and the Cavs are 0-1. I mean, there's no reason to go too nuts about it. It's one, literally the first of 82. So it's a bummer, sure, but there's plenty more basketball to be played.
I hate that Jalen Brunson wound up with 23 points. He was 1 of 9 from 3, and 12 of his 23 points are fucking free throws.
He's just a little guy.
No, I like him. I don't dislike him. I just hate watching it's the James Harden effect for some of these guys where it's just like play for the free throw line. That's it. It. It's just like I watched Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell does not play for the free throw line. And maybe he should. God, maybe that's the key. Maybe you should just be trying to get free throws. Donovan Mitchell tries to play basketball, and you got Jalen Brunson is guilty of it. Harden, even Shea down there. I think Shea's not quite as bad as people give him shit for, but these guys that just play for the whistle, just it's so hard to watch. It's so hard to watch.
I'll never understand what is and isn't a foul in the NBA. I never will. It's a tale as old as time. I will never understand what is and isn't a foul because it's different for every team.
But with the Cavaliers back, it goes back to, even though they lost tonight, it goes back to this just being the best sports time of year. We've had the MLB playoffs all the way throughout. We've got regular season basketball. We've got regular season NHL hockey, and we've got football on most nights of the week at this point. And so, like when it's just baseball season, you got games every night, but it's only baseball. Now, basically, every night of the week, you're going to turn on something different. There's a different team for you to watch, a different team for you to root for. This is it. Once we hit end of October and basketball's back, it's full on the best sports time of the year.
Oh, there's football on 7 days a week now, boys. 7 days a week. You can get it. Yeah. Conference USA, Tuesday and Wednesday nights. Maction's going to be starting soon. Then you get Thursday nights and then Friday. Oh, it's all over the place. It's all over the place.
Friends become enemies and enemies.
Yes. Little love story for the protagonist.
Everybody's richer for the experience. I forgot. Gregory put this in the comments. I like how the comments filter this out, even though we swear on the show. I'll tell you what an asshole. I'll tell you what's an asshole. The motherfucker that shows up and acts like they know what they're doing to fix your shit and knows nothing about it. Like when you call a repairman for something and they like clearly do not really know how to repair something. That's asshole stuff right there, Gregory. I agree with you.
I love the asterisks for everything but motherfucker.
Just admit to see you're good.
Yeah. As long as you spell motherfucker without the C on the fucker, then you're fine.
Oh,
fine.
You're good. Okay.
It's fine. NBA's back. The Cavs are back. We've talked about the Blue Jackets. Joe. Well, no, let's go to this. Let's do this, boys. The Cleveland Browns won a football game.
Hey.
Oh.
Well, before we get into this, okay, I watched your video and I agree with it. Okay. I agree with it. As far as like, don't tell me, oh, it's just the Dolphins, right? Like they won a game. Be happy about the game. Okay. Right. But I also want to make sure that like we're not going to talk about this game as if like the Browns are back, right? Like we're just going to enjoy the win. We're going to talk about this like we're just enjoying the win.
That's my listen.
Okay.
Let me be real clear. The Browns aren't back.
Okay. All right.
My mood is lighter this week as opposed to last week.
Yeah,
Chad,
for
I
sure.
know you saw the rant, and I'm sorry. That was a long fucking rant.
No, listen, it was well deserved, man. More people should do that with the Browns. More people.
Like, my mood is different.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed from this week, and again, you're right, and my point, that was my favorite point that I made in like any video was, don't give me shit that they beat the Dolphins. Yeah. Again, the Browns suck.
Yeah.
Every team. The New York Jets are currently looking ahead at their schedule and going, all right, well, we could get that Browns game.
Yeah.
That's what's happening. There is the New England Patriots right now are looking at this game against the Browns on Sunday thinking they're going to smoke us.
Right. Sure.
Every single team is looking at the Browns right now. Baltimore. We got Baltimore after the Jets, after the bye, and they're probably going to have Lamar back. So, but even if they didn't have Lamar back, they'd probably be looking at that game going, all right, we can get that win against the Browns. That's what the Browns are right now. The Browns are the win on every single team's schedule.
Perfect.
And it's no shade really to the defense because the defense has been good all year. But offensively, these teams are like, well, shit, if we can just kick some field goals, we're going to beat this team.
Right.
Like that's what it is. So no, we're not going to do the Browns. We're not going to do the Browns are back.
Okay, good. All right.
But we're also not going to take anything away from them for winning a football game. And not just winning a football game, because this is what I want to celebrate, boys. They thrashed the Miami Dolphins. And I know the Dolphins are in shambles, but they thrashed them.
Yeah, they beat the shit out of them, and which was nice to see.
And I'm going to celebrate that.
Yeah. No, as we should. I'm not trying to take away anything from the Browns either, but I just didn't want anybody trying to convince me like, oh, this is a turning point in the season. This is a turnaround. No, it's not. But it was an awesome, dominant win by the Browns because the Dolphins never had a chance. The Dolphins.
I hope it's at least a confidence booster, particularly for the defense that has been like not able to get takeaways.
Sure. Yeah.
Not able to play while having the lead.
Yeah.
It buys a little time for the offense to start to figure some things out. Cause that's kind of what's been happening with our Browns teams is the defense, for the better part of the past 5 years has been lights out. But then as the season kind of wears on, it's like, well, what the hell are we playing for at this point? Like we're starting drives on our 20-yard line. It buys a little time with the defense playing at the level they're playing at, which is great.
No, I agree. The thing is, I guess I'm just emphasizing this because I'm not going to be duped, okay, by this team again. I'm not going to be duped by the Browns, okay? I love the win, right? I loved everything about what happened on Sunday. Just dominating the run game. You dominated the 30-second run defense, right? You did what you should have done, right? You dominated the 30-second run defense. Quinshon Judkins is a dog. I'm so excited for the future with him. You stuck to your game plan. Right. The Dolphins, you made the Dolphins just want to get out of town as fast as possible. Like they were you made the Dolphins miserable that entire game. And it was so awesome to watch.
Again, it was a blast. And here's the thing. This is what I loved about it because defensively, they're not going to be able to set you up like this every game. But the defense just set up the offense all game long. Just set up after setup after setup. But at the same time, the offense cashed in every single time. The offense cashed in. The defense made plays. It was a thing of beauty to watch. After this game, the Browns that we've talked about, like the turnover margin and how bad it's been the last couple of years, the Browns are at 0 right now. The Browns are not negative in the turnover margin. They were +4 in that game on Sunday. Dillon Gabriel still not turned the ball over, which to me, listen, let's talk about this for a minute. When I see that Dillon Gabriel has started a couple games now, 3 games, and he hasn't turned the ball over, we're starting to get into the territory where that's not really that good of a thing. You know what I mean? Like, hear me out. And I think you guys both know where I'm going with this. But when you're an NFL quarterback and you're throwing no interceptions, it means you're not taking any chances. It means you are just completely keeping the ball out of harm's way as much as possible. And he's thrown a couple balls that could have been turned over. But like for the most part, I've always said this, you don't want to lead the league in interceptions, but you don't want to have no interceptions either, because that means you aren't taking shots on plays down the field. You're not trying to make a throw that is in a tight window. Instead, you're not doing it. You're hanging on to the ball. You're just checking the ball down, and you're not going to win a lot of games that way. And so I would love to see, I know this is weird, but I'd love to see 1, 2, 3 turnovers out of Dillon Gabriel, because that is going to tend to mean that he's going to try to push the ball down the field a little bit more, try to make some more explosive plays. At the same time, though, after watching Joe Flacco lead the league in interceptions during his time here, I do know that was probably an emphasis a little bit like, guys, we got to hang on to the football when we have it. Like, we have to have the football when we have it. But I don't know. Like, it just felt to me like I hope there was a lesson learned in Berea with Kevin Stefanski, guys, where maybe the game plan in this game was to be a little bit more run heavy because of the weather too. The weather was terrible.
Yeah.
But like, hey, lesson learned. It could be sunny and 80. Do that same game plan. Run the ball. They ran the ball, 33 runs in the game, 18 passes. Now, you're obviously going to have more plays in most games because you got set up inside your 5-yard line a couple times. But like, that's a good recipe. Let's have Dillon Gabriel be the guy that's throwing the ball like maybe 25 times a game, and let's run the ball just as much, and let's roll with that, because I think that's what's going to make I think that will keep the Browns more successful than anything else.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, do the game, like, I mean, it depends on the opponent though, right? You're going to have to be more balanced against New England to be able to come out with a win. But yeah, like when you can, yeah, you should be a little bit more run heavy. As far as Dillon goes, and I see what you're saying, right? Like, you can't be afraid to make mistakes, but you can't make stupid mistakes.
Yeah, right.
Like that's the difference. Right. Like if you're throwing a deep ball, like a 50-50 ball, and it gets intercepted, fine. That means the defensive back made a play. Right. Or if you think you can squeeze a throw in there, sure. Like, there's a difference between trying to make a play, right, and forcing things.
And doing whatever the hell Tua Tagovailoa was doing on Sunday. I don't know what that dude was doing. Just throwing the ball to the Browns.
Yeah, for sure. But no, like, I mean, going forward, I mean, when the offense was going good, it was a run-heavy offense, right? I mean, they were splitting carries between Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, and that opened up the play-action passing game. Like, that's when this offense was at its best, right? So that should be the plan going forward. But yeah, I mean, I think the next step in this offense is when that running game is going, that is when Dillon needs to take chances and push the ball up the field. Like, that's the reason why this offense looks so boring, right? He's not doing anything to push the ball down the field, right? It's always the checkdowns. It's always the screens. It's nothing to hit anybody in stride. You know, that is granted if anybody does like actually catches the ball. But so yeah, I think that's the next step for this is to actually start pushing the ball down the field some, even if it results in a pick.
Yeah, I mean, that goes back to what we were talking about last week when you were here, Chad. It's just like, because you were passing the ball, what was it, 52 times against Christ. The Steelers? Like, there's no chance of any downfield plays. There's no opportunity for that, because every time you're walking up to the line, what are they thinking? He's going to pass the ball. That was a call to Kevin Stefanski last week, was you have to run the ball. And yes, agreed. Maybe weather dependent of the game plan of running as much as they did against the Dolphins, but like, hey, it worked. You know, it looked really good. Quinshon's a stud. Let's keep back at that, because you know you're going into a Patriots team that's going to cause some problems for this Browns team, and you know you cannot resort to passing 50 times a game if you get down by 10 points at halftime.
Or 6 or whatever. I also think the other thing I saw in this game, and this I want to see more of, and I know if you watched my last show at 7:00 inside the Browns beat, we had from WTAM, we had Bloom Daddy on, and he made a point, and I didn't agree with it, but I didn't want to get too crazy because he and Fred were talking. But I loved finally, in this game against Miami, on the defensive side of the ball, Jim Schwartz was drawing up blitz after blitz after blitz after blitz after blitz after blitz. They were getting after Tua. We had safeties coming after him. We had corners coming on blitzes. We had linebackers coming on blitzes. And listen, I don't want to sound like a simpleton here. And I understand that you don't just blitz to blitz because that's how you get beat in the NFL if you're just blitz happy. But you know what? I watched them play this way. And I watched how uncomfortable just that one extra guy. Like, if you think the Browns front four is awesome, what about one extra dude? And how uncomfortable that made Tua. And I watched it, and I thought, why are we not doing this every game? And on my show before, Bloom Daddy from WTM said, well, I think the way we want to attack this next game is get pressure with your front four and just drop everybody else back. And I'm like, no, I don't want them to do that. I think in their heads, that makes sense. If we could just dominate with 4 and drop 7 back, that makes sense. But here's the thing. You've got faith and trust. You just traded for Tyson Campbell, who is a very good man-to-man corner. He just picked 6 Tua in this game. He's a good man corner. You've got Grant Delpit back there and Ronnie Hickman, and now you got Rayshon Jenkins back there making plays. You've got this new kid who is vying to be defensive rookie of the year and Carson Schlesinger at the corner, but Devin Bush is also playing well. Like, you got these guys out there that you trust to be dogs in that defensive backfield. Let them be dogs. You don't need to send 7 guys back. Send 6 guys back and let them be dogs and send an extra guy in to go get the quarterback. And I think it's going to make a difference. You've got the talent to be able to do that. And you don't have to just rely on this stubborn thing of being like, just get pressure with 4 and drop everybody back, because it doesn't always work. And I think when you don't bring those exotic pressures from different places, when the quarterback knows that the pressure is coming from the 4 guys up front and nobody else is coming, they know where the pressure is coming from. They understand where they need to move. Do I need to get outside of Myles Garrett? Do I need to step up in the pocket? Where's it's coming from these 4 guys. But when all of a sudden that guy blasts off the left side and it's a guy they didn't even think was coming, that is a different angle to this, that it makes the front 4 better, and you still have good players in the back, in the 6 that are dropping back to make the coverage plays. So I saw it with my eyeballs. I feel like Aisha Curry. I saw it with my own eyes. The way that this defense played when they started sending that one extra guy. Oh, you don't remember her tweet from the NBA Finals?
Oh, no, I remember it.
I know. It's just, it's just a deep pool. Yeah.
It was a little bit deep pool. Sorry.
It's pretty deep. But go on.
I don't know. I liked what I saw. I liked Jim Schwartz dialing up pressures, and I hope he does it more. That for me is the point. I hope he does it more. I'm not Mr. You can just get pressure with the front 4 and drop everybody else back guy. I think that's a lazy way to think about defense.
Especially with a quarterback like Drake May, who's on the verge of having a breakout year.
Yeah. He's having one.
You gotta dial some shit up, right? Like you've got to bring that extra safety, bring a corner, bring a linebacker, something, right? You got to mess up his rhythm in the. You got to make him make decisions before he's ready to, right? Otherwise, if he's allowed to sit back there with the way he's playing this year, he's going to carve this defense up, right? For as good as Denzel Ward and Tyson Campbell is, they can cover for a little bit, but if Miles and Alex Wright aren't getting home, Drake May's going to pick us apart. Yeah, so you've got to dial some stuff up. You don't have to blitz every time, right? You can bring pressure with 4, but that shouldn't be the plan all game. Absolutely not.
So, boys, it's the 5-2 Mike Vrabel led, Drake May led New England Patriots, 5-2 on the year against the 2-5 Cleveland Browns in Foxborough. I have serious thoughts on this game.
What are they?
Well, I want to hear yours first.
Man, it's an interesting Patriots year. It kind of feels reminiscent of some Tom Brady teams where you have, obviously Drake May's on this breakout year that he's having. But like you look at the offense and like it's not like necessarily like one part of that offense that like really intimidates you, but they're just solid, same on the defensive side. They're just, they're a solid team. They're really well coached. I love Mike Vrabel. I think he's one of the best coaches in the league. And that is where you're going to lose your game. You're going to have, if Drake May can stay composed in the pocket, you have every opportunity for Mike Vrabel to outcoach Kevin Stefanski in this game and grind away to the win. It'll be like a moral loss where like the scoreboard doesn't reflect it, but like we're going to lose by something they make us do to make a mistake.
Yeah.
I think for the Browns to be successful, I completely agree with the defensive philosophy here. And I just go back to like, we have to prioritize the run in this game. Grind it out, win the battle in the trenches. We've seen so many, go back to so many Ohio State, Michigan games where just like we had the better on roster talent, but we lost the battle in the trenches.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the Browns have like the better on roster talent, but like if they can win in the trenches here, like this is the Browns game to win. But that's how the Patriots are going to beat you. They're going to out physical you, and they're going to be flawless with their play.
Offensively, the Browns are going to have to be a lot more balanced in this game. This is a very, very good Patriots run defense. They have the second-ranked run defense in the league. The Patriots haven't allowed a rusher to go for over 50 yards in a game yet this year. So yet they're 24th in pass defense. So you're going to have to be a bit more balanced in this game, all right? Because this is a perfect game for Dylan Gabriel to try and push the ball upfield a little bit. And then on the other side, offensively, they're 8th in points for, right? But it's what was it? What did I just see? I'm gonna have to.
Where am I?
Where am I?
What's out, baby?
Yeah, but they're also 8th in passing yards and 21st in rushing yards, right? So I mean that to me tells me right there that pressure is key. On Drake May, obviously, to bring those blitz packages for Drake May, because you're going to have to disrupt him. Because if you can do that, obviously being 21st in rushing offense, you kind of you basically shut down the offense right there. So defense is going to have to put this offense in some pretty good positions right now, especially with how much the Browns want to run the football. I'm expecting a lower scoring affair. This feels like a kind of a 20-13 type of game to me. But man, unless Dylan Gabriel shows me something, I reserve the right to change my opinion mid-game on Sunday. But
don't give us your prediction yet. Hold on.
But yeah, that's kind of my opinion is the Browns are going to have to be more balanced offensively and then get pressure on Drake May.
Yeah, listen, I think the pressure on Drake May thing is fair. The Patriots stink at running the ball. They're bad at it. They're Ramondre Stevenson is their leading rusher with like 200 yards. Like that's where they're at on the season. But Drake May's been great. He's been great, and he's been great against everybody. But here's the thing, and I think it can spawn a great season. But if we want to sit here and talk about how the Cleveland Browns had the gauntlet of the season, the schedule to start the season, the New England Patriots have had the exact fucking opposite of that. They have played the worst teams in the NFL, and they've played all of them. Every bad team in the NFL, they have played. That is what the New England Patriots schedule has been. They've played the Raiders. They've played the Dolphins. They've played the Panthers. Now they did beat the Bills. Shocking victory. They did beat the Bills. That's a great win. That is a great win for the New England Patriots. But they have played the absolute easiest schedule. They just got done with the Titans. They played the Saints. It is the easiest schedule to start the season you could have possibly put together for a football team. And they have taken care of business. And you got to give them credit for that. They have taken care of business. I don't know.
Who losses to?
They lost to the Raiders week 1. And who was their other loss to?
The Steelers.
The Steelers. They lost to the Steelers.
Okay.
That's right. Otherwise, though, again, they beat the Bills. You can take nothing away from that. When you beat the Bills, that's a great win no matter what. But otherwise, they haven't beat one even decent team. Everybody they beat is bad. And so, again, now can that momentum roll into playing better against better teams? Yeah, look what they did to the Bills. But, like, I don't know that this is maybe the best 5-2 team of all time. And I think this Browns defense is going to have a chance to kind of put them in their place a little bit. Because I do think when you look at all the teams they played, even the Bills, the Browns have the best defense out of all the teams they've played. I think the defense is going to have a chance to put them in their place a little bit. Again, it's the Patriots defense has been good. They sacked the quarterback a whole bunch. They got 2 guys, I think 2 guys over 5 sacks. They get pressure up front. They usually win that line of scrimmage battle. But the Browns, here's the thing. For me, I think the Browns really have a shot at this game if they maintain. There you go. Pat Shea just said it. The Steelers turned the ball over. Or the Steelers had 5 turnovers versus the Patriots. 5.
And they still won.
If the Browns maintain the game plan
In Steelers fashion.
And they let the defense do what they do, and then offensively they just take advantage, I think the Browns have a real shot. I think they have a real shot at this game. I'm starting to see people talk about this game like the Browns just don't have a chance. And I'm like, oh, whoa. This is a Patriots team that Drake May's off to a good start. It's a pretty good defense, but it isn't. The Browns aren't going up against the Kansas City Chiefs here.
Oh,
like,
the Browns don't have no shot. That's for sure. Like, this isn't a great Patriots team, but this also isn't like we always talked about that the Browns have an easier back half of the schedule here, and they do, but this isn't a pushover opponent like some of the opponents on the back end. So I mean, the Browns are going to have to play well to win the game.
Correct.
But they don't have no shot. This isn't some all-world Patriots team.
I think they're fairly similar. I think the Patriots have a better quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, otherwise, I think the Browns have a better running game.
Yeah.
I think defensively, the Browns are a better overall unit than the Patriots. I think they're fairly similar, though.
Yeah.
So, anyways, boys, what are your thoughts? What's the gut? What's the gut telling you about the Browns and the Patriots?
I think it's gonna be an incredibly close game, like last-second field goal win for either side. So we'll go ahead and give it. Let's do a little. What's the score that makes sense? We'll do a little 23-24.
Whoa! Who?
Pats.
Pats.
20-17 Patriots. Last-second field goal.
All right. Okay. I want to pick the Patriots because I want to continue my spite revenge tour against the Browns.
Nice.
But I'm also there's this one thing that's put me over the edge that's driving me nuts, and it's all the people I hear talking about. Well, now Mike Vrabel knows all the Browns secrets. Shut the fuck up. Browns 24, Patriots 18. That's what I'm going with.
Boom.
All right.
Mike Vrabel knows all the Browns secrets. Jesus
Boom.
Christ. Do you know how many of these guys? Mike McDaniel, coach for the Browns, he apparently didn't know all the secrets. What are we doing?
Mike Vrabel was also there for Ken Dorsey last year. So
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm with you guys. I think it can be close. I think it can go either way. The way people are talking about this, and frankly, to be honest with you, the way people talk about Mike Vrabel is enraging to me. It's enraging. I like Mike Vrabel, but people talk about Mike Vrabel like he's ever won anything ever. And outside of
he's
as a player,
he is the best coach at polishing a turd.
Listen,
He's the best coach. He hasn't
He's
won
won a
anything.
lot of things
He's the
as a
best
player.
coach at polishing a turd.
He won a lot as a player. But come on. Let's not. We're acting like Mike Vrabel is Vince Lombardi out here. What do we? I love him. If for some reason the Browns were like, we wanted Mike Vrabel to be the coach instead of Kevin Stefanski, I'd have been like, oh, cool. I think that'll turn out well. Nothing against him, but like the way people talk about him here because he's like an Ohio State guy too. Gross. I hate it, and it only makes me want to pick the Browns even more. So I'm taking the Browns 24-18.
And now we're trading for Garrett Wilson too. Did you hear about this? That's cool.
That should be the other asshole of the week. It's one idiot. God, I hate the internet sometimes. This is how it is in everything. One idiot says something and the whole internet's like, boom.
Oh my God.
What's happening?
Sure.
Yeah.
I take him. But yeah.
Some guy in his underpants in his basement is like, well, the Browns should really trade for Garrett Wilson. And the whole internet's like, the Browns are trading for Garrett Wilson.
Some guy in his underpants.
All right, last thing. Well, actually, two quick things I want to talk about. But Joe, you were knee deep in it.
Yeah.
Let's move over to baseball real quick. We got a World Series. We got an international World Series for the first time since 1993. The Toronto Blue Jays heading back to the World Series, taking on the Dodgers, who are going to win the World Series. But that ALCS was a good ass time. That was.
Yeah.
I watched the Dodgers and the National League playoffs, and I go, this sucks. This is shit ass baseball. This blows. And then I watched the American League playoffs, specifically the ALCS between the Mariners and the Blue Jays, and I went, this is great. This is what I want to watch. And it was littered with former Cleveland Indians / Guardians. Shane Bieber gets the start against the Mariners in Game 7 in Toronto, which, by the way, Toronto's done a masterful job of redoing that stadium. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it looks really
looks
nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
My favorite moment, by the way, got to throw this out there, guys. My favorite moment of Game 7 is Josh Naylor jumping into a double play throw and the ball hitting him in the helmet, and then Shane Bieber looking at him and going, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, he like Saquon hurdled. He like Saquon hurdled into a double play ball. Like, what does he do?
I love that. It is like, let's just try to make a play. Like, just try to throw the other team off. Like, let's see.
Game 7, you can't hold anything back.
Yeah.
But then it made me think, because it was Bieber and Naylor didn't react at all. Naylor just was like, well, fuck. Yeah, I can understand why you're yelling at me. It made me wonder how many times in his career, and I love Josh Naylor, but how many times did that exact shit happen in like spring training and practice and shit where somebody was like, what the fuck are you doing, Naylor?
I'm sure like a text was sent afterwards for sure.
Yes.
People was
Josh
like,
Naylor is
really?
the kind of player that like you want on your team, but you hate, like you just hate him when you're playing him. He's just like, he's the kind of guy you're just like, that guy's such a bitch. But like, when he's on your team, great.
So what's the reaction in Seattle? Again, Seattle was one game away from their first ever World Series, and Seattle remains the only team in baseball to never go to a World Series.
Yeah, what's really interesting about the reaction is there's a lot of like, this is a lot of Dan Wilson mismanaging when you go to the bullpen, for instance.
Okay.
I think what this comes down to, you have to have two things go very well for you to win a series in the MLB playoffs. You have to play at your best, and you have to make the least amount of mistakes possible. I think both teams executed very well in this series, but the mistakes were all on the Seattle side.
Yeah.
Defensively, Game 6 should have been the wrap-up game of the series. That Mariners team came out flat. Defensively, they're horrible.
Yeah.
And the Blue Jays offense is so good that if you give them just the tiniest crack of a window to like explode offensively, come back into the game, pile runs, they're just going to do it. And what we've seen in every one of the Mariners' losses was as soon as they scored a run offensively, immediately it was given up next inning. It was just nullified. And that's very deflating for a team, and it's really tough to like stay engaged and come back when that's how you're playing. So, I think it comes down to just execution on the Mariners' part. I think they're both fantastic teams. But the Blue Jays, I think offensively it doesn't really look that way, but I think Mariners have a way better pitching staff end to end than the Blue Jays do. But the Blue Jays just executed that entire series. They made the pitches when they needed to. They hit when they needed to. That George Springer, God, that was
it was awesome.
I want everyone to win a championship on that Blue Jays team except George Springer. But that was the most clutch. That was just a clutch home run. Like that was just the epitome of
I actually think George Springer is my favorite of that Astros era. I love watching George Springer play baseball. I wish he was like kind of injured enough to where he would like go somewhere on a cheap deal and just put him out in the outfield for Cleveland. Oh, I love watching George Springer play baseball.
I'll tell you a couple more takeaways too. So I went to Game 4 in Seattle where the Mariners just were completely the best moment of the game was I caught Josh Naylor hitting a home run on video and like.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And it was when the game was still in hand, which is great. And then the rest of the game was as a Cleveland fan, though, who went to the ALCS last year, the Cleveland playoff atmosphere is
unmatched.
Second to none.
100%.
Now, I will say, the
Toronto
Mariners
might
did
be
a
up
great
there.
job. The fans were so engaged. It was loud in there, but just the way that Cleveland handles the fans, handle themselves at games, like the passion is just unmatched.
Well, Joe, you stood at the it's the thing I'm most jealous of because the thing I'm most jealous of because you guys invited me to it and I had a football game that night and I couldn't go. And I was in Cloverleaf High School. You and your dad stood at the base of the foul pole when Francisco Lindor hit that grand slam against the Yankees in that series. And to this day, I think it's the loudest thing I've ever heard.
It is. Ever. So it is actually the loudest decibel rating of an MLB stadium since they've tracked sound in stadiums and games. Two coolest games I've been to ever are one, the Jabba Chamberlain Midge game.
Oh, shit.
That was unreal. With I think it was Grady Sizemore hit a walk-off that game, or
I think it was Hafner.
Hafner hit the walk-off single.
Yep.
And then the Francisco Lindor grand slam, not even to take the lead. It was 7-2, I think, at that point, and then it was 7-6 after the grand slam.
Right.
But my dad and I were literally sitting at the foul pole in the right field side. I literally had my hand on the foul pole and felt the ball hit through vibrations on that. And we turned to each other. It's just like, we didn't even see the ball hit the pole. We just felt it. We're like, it's gone. It's great. And one of the great home run calls of all time. Watching it on TV was almost just as good. That Santa Maria call. Oh, so good. That is, especially for a national broadcast, that is one of the most epic home run calls.
Yeah, of all time.
Yeah, Vescursion is awesome when he gets excited.
But needs to say, I think, Mariners have a great team. They're built really well. There's a lot of key off signings you have to think about this season, but we're not going to get into that because we're Guardians fans here. I will say,
Can I talk about one player on the Mariners real quick?
Sure.
I've never really watched this guy all that closely, and I went, oh God, if the Guardians would have beat the Tigers and played the Mariners, this guy wouldn't have had one hit. I don't know how Eugenio Suarez comes up with the stats he comes up with.
So that's a hot topic here.
I don't know how this dude stats his way to the stats he does, because I watched him and I was like, the Guardians would have struck him out every time.
He's got one
every
swing.
time.
He's got one swing. It's the home run swing.
But he swings at everything.
And he's a sucker for something outside the zone. When he connects, it's beautiful, but it's really few and far between. And at the time of the trade deadline, he was an NL MVP candidate.
I know,
at the trade deadline. And at the time, getting both him and Naylor on the same team was they won the trade deadline, no doubt. But Gino just absolutely fell off.
And Naylor was
really
out there stealing bases. It was great.
Yeah. Eugenio Suarez is a big clubhouse guy, and so players love him, fans love him. But the temperature around Josh Naylor is that he is an all-time favorite Mariner right now. Everyone is in love with him.
Of course he is.
That's the kind of guy he is. That's how we felt about him in Cleveland.
Yeah, of course. Chad?
What?
Thoughts on baseball thoughts?
Oh no, I mean you guys are like you guys kind of went through it all, man. It was an awesome series.
So we got the Toronto Blue Jays.
Sorry, no, the Canadian Guardians.
Hey, listen,
the Cleveland Guardians.
Nothing wrong with it.
The Cleveland Jadians.
I think you said it right. I think you said it right, Joe. There were so many times in that series where I thought, oh, the Blue Jays just don't look all that good. And then all of a sudden it was like a 6-run inning. And you were like, oh, shit, where did that come from? The Blue Jays, I think, pitch well. I think the Blue Jays, you've always – George Springer in the playoffs is a different beast. It's a different beast. And Vladimir Guerrero played well. It's part of the thing I loved about the ALCS, too, is that, like, the good players played well. Julio Rodriguez had big hits for the Mariners. Cal Raleigh. Yeah. Oh, God. I love that guy.
I tell you what, is there any sweeter swing, though, than Vladimir Guerrero Jr.'s?
Maybe Cal Raleigh, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's right there.
Oh, man, Vladdy, it just looks so effortless.
But, like, the big-time players made the plays. What was it, games 1 through 2 or 1 through 3, Vlad was like, he had one hit. And then the last 3 or 4 games of the series, he was unstoppable. Unstoppable.
He hit everything.
I'll give Dodgers in 5. And I hate it. And I fucking hate it, but it's Dodgers in 5. And I hate it.
I am so with you on that. You mentioned you said that Toronto has good pitching. I don't think they do. I mean, I will say, and this is just a early cheers of the week. I have a different one too, but Max Scherzer in Game 4 telling John Schneider.
I love it. He was in the stands and he was like
telling him
just trying to buy the Redskins back.
Go back. Like that was you earned that as like a Hall of Fame pitcher. That was like one of the coolest moments, and he is great. I don't think the bullpen's very good for Toronto.
No, you're right. Well, I do like their closer, but you're right.
I don't think their bullpen's very good, and I think that the Dodgers will eat them alive with it. So I totally agree. I think Dodgers in 5, but I hope, like Bieber looked really good, and I hope that they figure some things out.
The Dodgers bullpen isn't very good either.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
You know what I want to agree with you guys. And for the most part, I do. I think the Dodgers are going to win in 6. And the reason why I say that is like every now and then when you're in like a postseason, right? And one team is clearly better than the other. The inferior team, like if you have a guy that's just like that just kind of says like fuck it, like I'm the guy, like that's Vladdy, right? Like I don't know, something about him and the way he's hitting the baseball right now. Like I feel like he's just gonna come up with big hits in key moments in a couple of these games to make things exciting, and I think he's just gonna kind of carry them to 2 wins. But I think the Dodgers will still win it in 6. But like I feel like the Jays are going to make it exciting, right? Like I don't think it's going to be like the Dodgers walking away with it. Like I think it's going to be like I think with that lineup, I think the Jays are going to make these games exciting. But I still think the Dodgers win. Like Yamamoto and Blake Snell back to back is just fucking unfair.
Now you got Shohei out there too.
Yeah,
I got a real bad feeling we're going back to LA 0-2. The Toronto Blue Jays are going to LA 0-2, and I again I hate it. All right, real quick, last thing, Chad. How was your trip to Provo, Utah, buddy?
Fucking unreal, man.
That looked awesome.
Like it was. I mean, it's not the greatest town to go out in. No. but absolutely one of my top 5 picturesque stadiums that I've ever been to in my entire life.
That shit you sent, the video and the pictures and stuff, unbelievable. By the way, excellent. And I saw somebody made a video on this, and I fully agree. Utah and BYU both wore their home jerseys in that game.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah,
rivalry games should feature home jerseys.
Yeah, for sure.
That was awesome. The red versus the blue. Oh, God.
For sure.
That was awesome.
For sure. My final number, I think, was 12 soaks. I was 12. I was the bed jumper for 12 soaks.
Jesus Christ.
Listen, I'm a team player, Mike. Okay. And I was going to make sure that I could, if I'm going to be a bed jumper, I'm going to get that wine glass off the bed in the mattress commercial. Okay. Like that's how good of a bed jumper I'm going to be. No,
Jesus Christ.
No, honestly, Provo, Utah. I mean, it was honestly amazing, right? It's the first time I've ever been there. It's not a great town, like I said, but yeah, it's if you ever get a chance to go see a game there, go see a game there because that atmosphere is electric.
Jesus Christ. All right.
What? Oh, yeah, screw. Well, I guess I could make that asshole of the week too. Like, screw you, Utah, and your like 3.2% beer law.
Your 3.2
Oh,
beer.
yeah.
That you make.
Weirdos.
Fuck you.
Weirdos.
You gotta buy food when you go out to drink a beer.
Yeah. Screw
Oh,
you.
it's so weird.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ah.
All right, boys. Listen, next week, obviously, we'll have Browns to talk about. We'll have Cavs and Blue Jackets and all that. I do want to just dive into college football. We haven't really dived into college football in a while, but again, we've kind of run out of time for it tonight. It was part of the plan, but it's what happens here. So let's wrap things up with our 3 cheers of the week, where we just go around and, as opposed to the asshole of the week, talk about somebody that deserves a cheers. And then we'll get out of here for episode 286. And so who wants to lead off with the cheer of the week?
I'll take it. Give me the NFL official Nate Jones in the Seahawks Bucks game.
What do you
Oh
do?
my God.
On Monday. So there was I didn't see the play, I just saw the after, but there was a scuffle after a play, and Jackson Smith and Jigba had a helmet off and was like kind of like pushed by a Texan onto his bench. And Nate Jones, the official, I don't know if he was like dazed or something, but he came over and like literally like put his arms on the bench around Jackson just to like prevent the scuffle from getting to him, and like literally just putting his body on the line, because like it was very heated. I didn't get the full context of the play, but like cool. Like you just don't see that from officials, just like literally trying to protect a player like that. These are mostly old guys.
That's
Nate
right.
Jones is not an old guy. So it's pretty cool.
Protective referees getting 1 cheer of the week. Chad, what about you?
My cheers goes to thieves. There were a group of people in Paris that pulled off like what every guy dreams about in movies, like
God.
robbing the
Wild.
Louvre. Like these guys jumped up onto a truck ladder right after the Louvre opened, by the way, which is still like
It was 9:30 in the morning.
yeah, which is still pretty badass. We used some angle grinders to force open a window. Took 4 minutes, got in there, grabbed $100 million in jewels, and got out of there in 4 minutes tops. And got out like you just pulled off what every guy dreams about doing in movies, right? Except what a job. I mean, now granted, like obviously it sucks for the Louvre, but the fact that anybody was able to pull off like the heist of the century, amazing.
I can't wait till there's a movie about that. And also,
yes.
My in-laws were literally there the week before that happened, and like have all those jewels on like a video of just like walking through it. It's like
yeah.
That's like one of the last videos that probably exist of those jewels
In the Louvre. Yes.
In the Louvre.
So to add a little context, because this story is wild, they pull up in a van. They have like a retractable ladder that just shoots up to this window. They bust in the window. These few guys jump up, grab the jewels. Weren't just jewels. It's the French royal jewels.
Yeah, it's a French royal crown. Yeah.
The craziest set of jewels that you could possibly find. They jump back out the window. The van pulls off in one direction, and these dudes escape on scooters.
Yeah.
Scooters.
Yeah.
And they're gone.
Right. Yeah.
And they said there's like probably very little hope for getting the jewels back because you can't just sell. It's too risky to just sell them.
Right.
So they're
Unless you already have a buyer.
Well, they're probably breaking them down and selling them like in parts.
Yeah. Scouring the black market now.
Wild.
I wish they didn't break. I wish they had a buyer already that just bought it whole. You know, like somebody's like, "Hey, I really want
good
this,
things
like,
out
Napoleon
of this."
crown."
Yeah, yeah, like Napoleon's sister. Like this is a jewel out of Napoleon's sister's crown. Like,
yeah, you're breaking down the diamonds. Like that's a little less enticing to me. Badass if you're like, "Hey, like I'm getting this exact item and it's full entirety, and I'm getting it to you. That's
crazy.
sick.
Crazy. Boys, my cheer of the week. I just went on and on and on and on and on in the World Series about being pissed that the Dodgers are going to win, which they are. But Shohei Ohtani is my cheer of the week. Like,
for sure.
You know, the world is full of hyperbole. The world is full of these big, outrageous statements. And most of the time, if you're just halfway, if you have half a brain, you're like, okay, fucking relax. I'm totally on board with everybody that said that was the greatest playoff performance in the history of baseball.
1,000%.
Shohei Ohtani goes out there and throws 6 2-hit shutout innings, fans 10 batters, and pops 3 home runs in the elimination game in the NLCS. Like, nobody's ever done anything better than that in a single baseball game.
Nope.
Ever in history.
That was playoff game. I think he's done better in the regular season.
He hasn't.
But him.
But him. I don't know if he's done better than that.
I think he's literally gone like 7 on 2 hit ball and hit 3 home runs before.
Oh man.
But the gravity is the playoff. In
any case, I'm cool with the hyperbole of that's the best playoff game any single player's ever played.
Yeah.
And I hate the fact that I love Shohei Ohtani, but I hate the fact that he is a Dodger, one, and that they're going to win the World Series. But it takes nothing away from the fact that you just went out and pitched 6 shutout, 2-hit, 10 strikeout innings and hit 3 homers to single-handedly just decimate the Milwaukee Brewers. Just like single-handedly decimate.
You know what's crazy about the World Series too? It's like, remember when Shohei was a Blue Jay for like 2 weeks?
Why do I not remember that?
Before he signed his massive deal, like he was like, I'm going to the Blue Jays.
Oh, that's right.
Like, maybe not 2 weeks went by, maybe a couple of days went by, and then it's
Yeah.
like, actually, no, we're not doing this anymore.
Yep.
But they already reported on it, so that's an interesting like dynamic.
It's gonna really suck when he fucking does the same thing to the Blue Jays.
Turns out 700 million loonies isn't as much as 700 million American dollars.
They're paid him in yen.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Japanese currency, never mind.
It was awesome. It was awesome. It was wild, and he deserves a cheer for it. So I'm gonna give it to him. So those are our cheers of the week. And then that'll do it for us here on episode 286. What a show it was. Again, nearly 2 hours just flies. Absolutely flies by. I have so many things that I want to get to, and then we just can't. But we'll get to them in future weeks. But last order of business for us is to just give out our thank yous. First thank you goes out to our buddy Dave Maetzold for joining us, the ringside reporter for the Columbus Blue Jackets. He was awesome tonight, talking about the first basically week and a half of the season for the Blue Jackets, and he gave a lot of great insight. So big shout out to Dave Maetzold. Second shout out goes to the OBR. Get over to the OBR.com and subscribe, and make sure you follow and like the videos on YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're watching. The OBR is the oldest and largest Browns coverage site in all of Cleveland, and you want to be a part of it. So get over to the OBR.com and hit subscribe. If you joined us live here tonight, shout out to you. We love you. The comments were very fun earlier in the show for sure. And we appreciate the fact that you tune in with us Wednesday nights. You grab a beer, you hang out with us. If you can't join us live, always remember that you can tune in and you can watch us or you can listen to us. You can watch us on demand on YouTube, Twitch, wherever, or you can listen to us on Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. So make sure you tune in every single week. But you are our last thank you of the week. That's going to do it for us for episode 286. For Chad over on the east side of Cleveland, for Joe over in Seattle, I am Michael Keefe. We'll see you next week for episode 287. Until then, cheers, everybody.